What's up, Online Empire Academy? I am so excited to be here today. This is a bit different of a format than what we're typically used to, but the Slammins are helping me out today because we had multiple shutdowns with Google Hangouts. But this today is a really special event for us. We're having on the Slammins because they have a fantastic new course that they're running out. So you guys just kind of take us through the basics of what it is and what you guys are up to.
Sure. So we started about 3 or 4 months ago. We started a small Facebook group community, and it was a lot of newer sellers, so folks who had never sold on Amazon before. And Nate and I were getting a ton of questions from these people. We created a few videos on YouTube, and so they found us on YouTube. Then they discovered us on Facebook. And so they were asking a bunch of questions. And what was happening is we were sending them to like 8 different places. So we'd say, hey, go over here if you want to learn about retail sourcing. Go over here if you want to learn about online. Go over here if you want to learn about wholesale. And just sending them to a million different places. And so Nate and I said, well, hey, why, Andy, instead of sending them to all these places, can we come up with a comprehensive program, kind of a one-stop shop, where people who are new to selling on Amazon, or maybe have been selling on Amazon for a little bit, but maybe didn't encompass like maybe private label as part of their business model. And so we kind of brainstormed, can we do a one-stop shop comprehensive program? And that's what we started doing about 3 months ago. And Nate has been working me to the bone, Josh. He is a slave driver. So I've become accustomed, to sleeping in late and staying up late because I talk to my Chinese sales reps. But yeah. Nate's not having any of that. So he calls me at like 6 in the morning, tells me to wake up. And so that's what we've been doing for the last 3 months. We've been staying up late, getting up early, and coming up with what I think is a really cool program, learning how to sell on Amazon.
Gosh, guys, I'm so excited about this. I'm a huge fan of what you guys have put out already. If you don't know Andy and Nathan, they are the top dogs when it comes to private labeling, and they're the ones that basically, I've worked with Brett and I've worked with our teams, but they gave me a step-by-step and just kind of a realistic expectation of what it looks like. And you guys can go look at the private labeling podcast we had with Andy. It's absolutely fantastic. Some top tips there. But what they're rolling out is for the beginners. This is for guys, our listeners who have not yet dove into FBA and what it looks like to be an Amazon seller. This is what it is. This is for you guys. And I'm super excited about it because I know that and I know and trust what you guys put out. And that's a huge thing for me. I appreciate all the people who are out there really hustling and working hard to get stuff done. But one of the things that I love is when I know somebody's going to put out a quality product and something that, I mean, they're going to be there to help you guys. And that's a huge part of this whole process. So, Nathan, I want to hear, for the people who don't know you, can you share your background first before we kind of hop into more of the gist of what this is?
Sure. So I've been selling on Amazon for about 3 years now. I was still going to school, going to college. So I went to Michigan State University, and I started selling during that time because, I had another part-time job and was going to school. But I realized that I was able to, Andy kind of gave me some pushing, but I saw that there was potential here. And, it took me, like most people, a little bit of time to jump into it. But once I got started, I just fell in love with it. And I really saw the potential that was there. And in my first year of selling FBA, I sold $250,000 worth of product, which at that time was almost all online sourcing and retail sourcing. Wow. So I hadn't gotten into the private label yet. Now, Andy came out with his private label training for people, which hundreds of people have gone through that and been really successful. So I was in his training program, and I too was able to jump on, to the private label and have a lot of success with that. And since doing that, now private label makes up a good part of my sales on Amazon. So I've been really excited about that. And then what other people might know me from is I started an ungating business. So that was at the end of 2014. I started helping people get ungated in certain categories on Amazon. That process has changed over the last year and everything. But basically, I helped many people get ungated in Amazon categories. and they were able to then sell in categories like clothing, shoes, luggage, all the gated categories on Amazon. I was pretty much helping people with. So I was doing that a lot. I was going to school. I was actually working to become a financial advisor, which I did become a financial advisor. So that's what I was going to school for. And I was working at a financial advising company firm. And I got licensed and became a fully licensed financial advisor. And I did that for a couple months. And what I kept thinking about all the time, and what I realized was that I was an Amazon junkie, as Andy used to say. And I was hooked on Amazon, and my private label products were buzzing. And I was just so excited. And I always had Andy, his positive enthusiasm always rubs off on me as well. So that's kind of my backstory. I do many things related to Amazon. I help people improve their business, and then I also sell on Amazon. And I'm just really excited about this program that we've been working on, because like Andy said, I personally have had many people personal messaging me on Facebook asking, about my story and how I got started, what I've done to make my product successful. And it kind of got to be too much. So Andy and I were like, hey, let's just do something that we can direct people to and really help them improve their business or get started.
So
and Josh, what he didn't add is he is kind of a geek when it comes to tech stuff. And so a lot of the back end stuff that a lot of people don't like to do on Amazon, that's probably why he was so good at ungating. Nate's really good at. So he actually just went through my account and looked at all the possible reimbursements. And Nate was able to get me over $3,000 worth of reimbursements. And it took him 2 or 3 hours. So
oh my gosh.
He's definitely gifted at that, which is cool.
That's so cool. I mean, we've been talking a lot lately about entrepreneurs who have taken an idea and run with it. And I mean, both of you are a perfect example of, you saw a gap in the market, saw an opportunity and ran for it. And that's what encourages me the most. But what I think is more fun is you guys approach everything with passion. I mean, you're using words like junkie and that there's this excitement about Amazon. And that's really an area that I get sad about when I'm talking with people, because they're not excited about Amazon and the opportunities that possess it. And then there's other people who are just passionate about it. And like Empire, you guys understand that I love what I do. And I love talking to people who are changing this industry. And you guys are now listening to people who have absolutely changed the industry. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but both of you have only been doing this for 3 years, correct?
Yes, that's right.
That's correct. Yep.
So it's the past 3 years, and you have both built ginormous Amazon businesses. I mean, if you guys go check out the Slamazon Bros page, you're going to see what they've done in their numbers. Like it's not hidden. And that's what I love. Another thing I love about you guys is that you're not, you're willing to help in a way that a lot of other people aren't. And this is what I'm excited. As soon as they sent me the message that they had been working on this, I got so excited because I really do see the value in what you guys bring to the table. And so I'm excited to share a little bit more about what you're doing. So I'll let you guys do that. Obviously, we talked about a little bit of the base, but what are some of the things that distinguish you guys from some of the other products out there? What are the things that you guys are going to be doing differently than any of the other courses that are out there?
Sure. So, I think one of the things that we value, and you said it early on, we really value relationships. We really value community. For me, that's like number one. Of the 3 things that matter in my life are my faith, my family, and then my friends or community. And so, I've shared my story before. I was actually a house parent. My degree's in social work. I had no clue that I would ever end up in the business world. It was like the furthest thing from my mind. But started selling on Amazon part-time, and I got the bug. I got the addiction. It was fun, buying things low, selling things high, and had to come to a point where we either had to scale the business down or decide to go full-time. And that's when we decided to go full-time. And I think I've brought that same type of mindset that I had when I was living with 12 high school boys and really caring for them, really just loving on them. I did that for 15 years, and I've definitely transitioned that mindset into the business as well. And so whether that's peers, whether that's people that have mentored me, like Chris Green. I'll tell you a real quick story about him. I sent him like 30 Facebook messages inviting him to my house in Hershey. I'd never met him before. He didn't know me from Adam. But I knew that he gave tremendous value. So I wanted to give value back to him. We had this huge house in Hershey. It was like 10,000 square feet. There's a great amusement park here. So I kept just messaging him, say, hey, look, and bring your family out. You can have the whole place for free. We'll get you free passes to the Hershey. And I said, you don't have to talk to me about Amazon at all, because I really just wanted to give value to him. And that was my expectation. But anyway, so he came out, and of course he came out, we started talking, and that relationship really just grew from that point forward. But it was really because I wanted to give value to him with no expectation back. And I think that, what Nate and I are really trying to do as well, and what we've done, is that same sense that we really want to give value to people with no expectation back. Wow. And I think that's a big piece of the course. There's a mastermind group that's going to be part of it as well, where, like you said, we are, I think, extremely vulnerable, and we try to be as authentic as possible in the course. I actually show my exact Amazon account. And so in some of the teaching, we go in and you see the exact products I sell. I give you the reasons why I chose those products. You're able to see my sales velocity on those products. And I don't know how many courses out there where the leaders actually open up their Amazon account, because, as an Amazon seller, you're really, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't want to share necessarily your products with everyone. But we have like an NDA that people are going to have to sign, before they watch that webinar. But I want to do that because I really think it adds value in a way that they can see that we're authentic. We're actually selling, what we're trying to teach. And I think it just helps spur imagination as far as product selection.
Man, I love it. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. I had the amazing opportunity just to hang out with these two at Ecom Chicago. And I feel so blessed with what they do and how they've operated their business. And I'm excited about this. I mean, this is a course that I've loved some of the courses that have come out recently, but this is the one that I'm excited about because it partners some really interesting strategies together. So, Nathan, will you kind of walk us through some of the different things that you guys are going to be talking through this course?
Yeah, sure. So like Andy said, and to touch on what you said earlier about his enthusiasm, and it's kind of contagious. If you watch any of our YouTube videos, you'll see sometimes Andy start to almost hyperventilate because he gets so excited about what he's talking about. So this is a guy who's, authentically passionate about what he's talking about. But yeah, getting into the program and what's involved with it, like Andy said, we really want to build relationships with the people, both everyone that we come in contact with, but especially the people that are going to be taking this program, because we care about their success. We don't want them just to take the program and, just to take it and not do anything with it. It's important to us to have people who are, want to be successful in it, and we want them to be successful in it. And so we really want to build relationships with them and help them through the process. So that's going to be huge in it. It's going to be more than just a course. It's going to be, like Andy said, the mastermind group is going to be people able to directly ask questions to us. So it's almost like, doing one of these hangouts on a daily basis. It might not be face to face in a video, but you can be typing, asking us questions daily. That's what's so important to us, is to be out there, to be vulnerable, like Andy said, somewhat, but also just to be available to people. So as far as the actual course, a big part of it is helping people get the basics down. So we think a lot of people are getting into Amazon, and people come in and tell them like, hey, anyone can sell on Amazon, which we say that too. Like Andy said, he didn't have a business background, but we want to say anyone can sell on it. And now here's the fundamentals that you have to get down for it. So we spend quite a bit of time in the course going through the basics. We talk about, even just as far as setting up your account, we go through that pretty quickly. But then, understanding the bestseller rank, understanding some of the data Amazon gives us, the tools that are really helpful, that are available to everyone, some free, some paid, but tools that are out there that weren't even available 2 or 3 years ago when we started, that are really important for people to take advantage of. So we have a whole section that's dedicated towards the foundation and a whole section dedicated towards essential tools, we call them. Just because we think that's so important for people to get down, no matter what you're doing. If you're doing retail, arbitrage or sourcing, or online or wholesale or private label, you should understand the bestseller rank no matter what you're doing. You should understand some of these tools that are out there, because no matter what type of selling or inventory acquiring methods you're using, you need to understand these things. So we hit that pretty well. And then we go through the entire private label process, basically from start to finish. So this is where, Andy's background is in. He's all in on private label. So we go through the entire process, and it's a process that we are currently using. So there's a lot of people who teach this and aren't currently doing it, which that's all right. But we think that it's helpful that we are actually doing this right now. We are still acquiring new private label products on a regular basis. We're going through this process because the process changes, right? Private label just a few months ago might look different than it does now. Some of the ways that you launch your product looks different. So that's going to be changing. That's where the mastermind group going forward is going to be really helpful for people, because we can give relevant and updated information directly to them on a weekly or even daily basis. But we go through the entire private label process. So how to find inventory, researching private label products. That's, usually what interests people the most, is how to find these products. So we spend a lot of time on that. Some of the tools and some of the methods that we use to find private label products. We go through how to negotiate and talk to suppliers, how you can work with overseas suppliers to really get good negotiation techniques and tactics and the best prices, and then how to get your products to either you or directly to Amazon.
Hey, Nate. I'm going to interrupt you real quick. One of the main keys that we wanted to make the course about was how to find profitable product. Because you know this, Josh, when people start selling on Amazon, the very first question they always ask, I did the same thing, is what product should I sell?
Yeah.
How do you find product, right? That's the question everybody asks. And so we really spent a lot of time in the course on how to not just find product, but how to use tools and how to find profitable product, because we think that's like the number one first answer that everyone always asks.
And for those of you, and I'll let you hop back into it, Nathan, but
sure.
For those of you who are listening and are still a little scared of the process, I get it. Like, and I kind of want to give peace to that, because it is big. Like, it is a big step to say, hey, I'm going to invest money into doing this. Hey, I'm going to choose to put my efforts into this rather than doing other things. And I understand that there may be fear for some of you who are just starting to step out into the e-com world. And again, I want to give peace to that, because they're a perfect example. The Slammons are a perfect example of taking what they had and stewarding it to the best of their ability, and now they have large Amazon businesses, and it's not as scary as it looks. And that's what I want to give peace to, is they're doing this, and I know their hearts, and I know they're doing this because they genuinely want to help the community, not because they just want to make money. And that's a huge difference between a lot of what we see out there, and why I was so excited to have them on the show is because I mean, you heard Andy talking about, having a guy like Chris Green just to his house to talk. His intention was to give value to him. And I hope you guys heard the communication of his heart, because that really is huge. And to trust somebody, I understand, isn't easy. And to trust them to help you grow your business isn't always easy, but they're here to help. And obviously, you guys know the Online Empire Academy. We're here to help too, and we want to give you the best resources out there. And I firmly believe that what they're about to produce and what they're about to bring to the table is going to help you get from ground zero. Some of you didn't understand the concepts they were even just talking about. Bestseller rate. That may not be something that you even understand, but they're going to help you grow step by step by step, because that's their heart. And that's, dude, I just want to thank you, both of you, for doing exactly what you wanted to. And that's what's most exciting for me. And I'll let you get back to it, but thank you for doing what you guys are passionate about.
Yeah, and that's big for us as well. And like you're saying, we understand people too that are a little bit hesitant sometimes to get into this, because Andy always says when he first heard about private labeling, which is basically just, creating your own brand of products, he was scared about it too. He thought, purchasing products from overseas, from China, are you crazy? I'm not gonna do that. That's, too big of a risk. And so we understand that, and that's really why we feel, and we will tell people this. If you want to take your business to the next level and you do want to private label, which we feel, and we can talk about this more, but we feel is, the future for Amazon sellers, for a lot of Amazon sellers who want to really make this scale up their business in a big way. But we understand people that are hesitant, but we always say that if you're going to get into this, we really think you need to get the fundamentals down. That's what I was talking about before. And whether you take our program or another program, talk to someone and get help, just because it is a process. And we feel that it's important that you really get the basics down. And that's what we try to do with this. So I don't know how much we want to go into more details of the program, but basically it's getting down the basics, and it's going through the entire process that we personally use.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before about just the kind of different things that they're working on, and they'll teach you and walk you guys through. And one of the things that I got excited about was it's not just about private labeling, because for a lot of you, that can seem really scary. But they're going to take you through the entire process of hey, go out and just start with OA on our online arbitrage, going out and finding these products, or go to the stores, start there. And they're taking really complex systems and structures and ideas and breaking it down. So kind of what I wanted to ask you guys is, for the person who is intimidated, for the person who is a little bit scared to take that first jump, what's your advice for them?
Yeah, so like Nate said earlier, I mean, I think we probably all were like that when we first started. I know I was really skeptical. I had a next door neighbor who was selling on Amazon. I thought it was, like a multi-level marketing scheme. She kept talking to me about it, saying that she was buying books at a thrift store for $5 and selling them for $100. It just sounded too good to be true. And so, for like a year, she kept hounding me, and I just kind of had a skeptical eye. And even so, then when I did jump in and started with selling low priced items like around my house and around thrift stores, it was definitely really scary. For me, the scariest moment is when I realized that we were going to transition from our career that we had been doing for 15 years. And we were basically going to sail the ship, right? We had a very stable income, a very stable job. And so that was definitely a scary time for me. And at the same time, I was transitioning my Amazon business from retail and online to private labeling and ordering a lot of merchandise off of Alibaba. And to be honest, the only reason I did that was I had a friend who I met in the Amazon seller community who agreed to mentor me. So I paid her $1,000, and she basically showed me she walked me through how to purchase, from manufacturers on Alibaba, and then how to private label them on Amazon. And so it was a really nervous time. And I don't think I would have been able to do it had she not taken the time and had she not been willing to mentor me and coach me. And so, up to that point, I hadn't paid for any type of coaching. I just gleaned all the material that I could, from Facebook and whatever few books were out there. And then some of the online forums. So back then it was just like a Yahoo forum, and then you could go to the Amazon seller forum. There wasn't a lot of information out there. But her taking the time and really teaching me was definitely worth it. And it really, I think, cut the learning curve, which I think it probably would have taken me about 4 or 5 months to grasp all the concepts. I was able to cut that curve down to 1 month. And so that's where I see the real advantage in being able to take courses, or pay for mentoring or pay for coaches. You can really cut your learning curve, depending on what you're learning, from, I think, about 6 months down to 1 month.
Wow.
When you get in a good program.
Wow. And speaking of 1 month, how long is your guys' program?
Yeah, so the program is actually at a kind of go at your own pace program. And the reason we set up that way is because, like we said, we're kind of targeting this for people who are new in with Amazon or new into certain category or selling methods with Amazon. So they might currently be doing retail or online sourcing, but they want to get into wholesale or private labeling. So many sections of the course are at your own pace. It's a pretty much a video course. So you go through the various videos. And then what we're doing as far as how the length of the program, the mastermind group is really going to, help people on even on a one-on-one basis. A lot of times at whatever step they are in the process, we're going to help them wherever they're at. So you can go through it if you wanted to. In just a couple of days, you could go through the entire program. Your brain would probably be swimming with a bunch of information. We don't necessarily recommend trying to cram it all in at once, but you can go through it within a week. Or if you have a lot going on, like most people do, I know I have a lot going on, you could spread it out over a month or whatever you're comfortable with. So the course is kind of your own pace, however long you want it to go or however quickly you want it to go. And then the mastermind group is going to be, helping you actually through each step of the process and making sure that you're not just, we're going to have a little bit of accountability there. So you're not just putting this off forever, but you can go at your own pace and you can really just make it work for you. We wanted it to fit people's schedules and their unique situations because we realize not every Amazon seller is the same.
Very cool. Well, guys, I so appreciate you guys creating this, and I'm excited to walk through it and kind of watch the progress of some of the people in our audience, because I know that there's value here, guys. So if you guys want to go check out their site and everything they're doing and go find out more about this, go to theonlineempireacademy.com / jumpstart, and that's going to get you it's going to get you onto their page, and you're going to be able to see all that they're doing, the pricing for their, and there's a couple different tiers. Do you guys want to talk about those tiers?
Go ahead, Nate.
Sure. So we have the Jumpstart program. That's basically the entire course, access to the mastermind group. And within that mastermind group, you're going to have access to monthly live webinars we're going to do. We're going to bring in expert Amazon sellers that are, experts in their particular field of Amazon. So we have people who are account health, Amazon account health experts. We have people who are going to really just help you target pain points basically that people have with Amazon and selling. So we're going to bring those people in. If you purchase the basic Jumpstart program, that is $497. It gives you full access to the course. It gives you 2 months free to the mastermind group, and you can continue on after that, of course, if you'd like. And then it gives you access to all those webinars and the advanced expert Amazon interviews. And then the next tier is the premium Jumpstart program, which gives you everything in the standard one, but you get 6 months access to the mastermind group, which we think is going to be really helpful for people as they go through the entire process and then just continue to learn from like-minded Amazon sellers. You also get an hour of one-on-one coaching with either Andy and I, where you're going to have our full attention wherever you're at in the process. We like people to usually get into it a little bit, kind of sink their hands into the material, get a feel for what's going on, and then just throw a bunch of questions at us. Hit us with everything that you have, and then we're going to do what we can to provide some one-on-one, coaching from people who are doing this, actively doing this, and have done it for a couple of years. So hopefully that's helpful to everyone. So that's the premium one. That's the one we think is the most value for people, especially if you're just starting out. That's one we would recommend for most people. And then we have a high-level tier, a VIP program for those of you who are looking to, who are all in on this. You realize, like Andy did a couple of years ago, that you are an Amazon junkie and that you are going to make this work no matter what. And so you are all in. And what this is it's really a personalized one-on-one coaching through the entire process. We're going to give you 8 weeks of one-on-one coaching. You're going to have direct access. You'll have our phone numbers. You can text us. You can call Andy at 2 a.m, whatever it is. And you'll have direct access to us basically through the whole process. And then you will have lifetime access to that mastermind group. So you will be a part of that. And that's the high level VIP program. So there's a couple different options for people who are interested, don't want to just have one option. We like to give people what fits their unique situation and is best for them.
Perfect. Well, guys, again, thank you so much. If you could give any amount of support or strength to our audience just before we leave, what would it be?
So yeah, I just say, to recognize the time that we're living in, I think that we're in a golden opportunity to sell online. So if you're not selling online already, I just encourage you to continue to research it. Right now, only 10% of all products, all goods are sold online. However, that number increases every year, 20 to 30%. And so the trajectory is just continuing to go up. And the your ability to be able to get in on it now is you kind of get in at the ground level. And so that's the exciting part for me. So just, get in, start slow, if you're more cautious, but definitely you want to jump in as soon as you can.
Yeah, and I would just, to continue on with that, say, I think too, this is a golden opportunity. I'm right around the same age as Josh, so I think we both feel the same way. We're really pumped up and excited about this, that we're able to get in on this at a younger age. But I think that the opportunity is there for the taking. So for those who are willing to reach out and grab it, I think it's yours. I think that now is as good a time as any to get into this. I know whenever I think back, even the last year or two, I say, if I would have just been all in on Amazon a little bit more, I would have been able to, do this with my business. I keep saying that. So going forward here, Andy and I keep saying this. We're not going to say that. We're going to say, we're 100% all in, and so that we don't look back in a couple of years and say we wish we would have done it more or been more invested in our Amazon businesses. So we're excited. I think people have a great opportunity. We'd be excited to work with anyone who is interested in this type of program. We think it's going to add a lot of value to people, and we are just very excited about it.
Perfect. And if anybody has any more questions, I know you guys are always there on Facebook. So, hop on, just Facebook message them. If you guys have any other questions that maybe we could help, just hop on and you can even personal message me. I'm Joshua Woodward. And guys, thank you again for being on. I'm really excited about this. I hope you as the audience got to hear the value that's in this. And, if you guys want to take that next step, again, it's the Online Empire Academy /jumpstart. And that's where you're going to get the rest of the information. So guys, thank you so much for all you've done for this community. Thank you for what you guys continue to do for it as well.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, Josh.
Well, until next time, Empire, have a fantastic day, and we'll be seeing you soon.